In this video, we're going to show you our Skaven Horde unleashed. This army has been in boxes and in storage for a little while now, and it's the first time that we've got it all out. It must be in what, 15 years?
Absolutely, yeah, 15, 16 years.
Well, it's certainly a very impressive army, and I'm looking forward to hearing about these regiments in a bit more detail.
So we're looking here at Ikit Claw, who's the chief warlock of Clan Skyer, and he's second within the clan only to the venerable Lord Skrolk. I tend to use him as my general in most of my games because I really like the idea of the Skaven being very, very intelligent. I've got 3 warp lightning cannon in my army, 2 on this flank and 1 on the other flank as we pan around. I have an old original metal Doomwheel, but unfortunately I can't show it today because it's in pieces. Grace here, Thankwell. Probably the main reason I got into the Skaven and buying a Skaven army in the first place. Reading his stories and exploits in the Warhammer Old World was quite entertaining, and behind him you can see a vermin lord, which is a physical manifestation of the horned rat. I've never actually used the vermin lord in my battles. It's something which I'm waiting to use in a bigger game.
Well, I've seen the Vermin Lord used a number of times when I've played against the Skaven, and he always causes me a lot of problems.
The Screaming Bell is a Skaven war machine, and it is very unpredictable, but it's always great fun to use in the game. I would say that it fails more times than it succeeds, but when it does succeed, you're guaranteed a win at the end of the day.
Tell us a little bit about how the Screaming Bell works.
The Screaming Bell works by rolling 3 dice in your shooting phase. If you roll a double or a treble, it's pretty much bad things are going to happen to the Skaven. But anything else, it will be some kind of boon to the Skaven or a bane to your opponents. This is my Storm Vermin regiment, core to my army, and they always give my opponents trouble when they take the field. These are my Plague Monks, led by Lord Skrolk in this instance, and at the front we've got our Censer Bearers. Whenever I field a Skaven army, I do like to take them because we can use these as shock troops. Core to every Skaven army are slaves and clan rats, and without them you don't really have a Skaven army. It's probably the only horde army I have, and there's a good reason why that is. A horde army, whether it's orcs and goblins, Skaven, requires plenty of miniatures, and that requires time to paint. Even the Skaven have their own handgunners or warp block Jezzails, another invention of Clan Skyer. I'd often use my Jezzail teams to take out enemy cavalry because of their high strength weapons. Clan Moulder with their rat ogres, use them sparingly, usually on the side, on the flanks of my army. Try and use them as a hammer, whereas the clan rats are the anvil. So we've got a close-up of Throt the Unclean. He's looking a bit battered because he's lost his man-catcher. This model is probably 30 plus years old. So here's Deathmaster Snitch with some of his assassins. In the game, each of the assassin models would be placed in the clan rat or slave models, and they would jump out at the appropriate time to take on an enemy character. So we're looking at our gutter runners, members of the Deathmaster's army, and they work on the fringes of the army as skirmishers, and they have close combat weapons and thrown weapons. They can also use smoke bombs. Really adaptable, really capable as well, because they don't suffer the same similar penalties of leadership that the other Skaven do. So we've got 4 units of 5 gutter runners dotted around the army, working on the flanks. So we've got a rattling cannon, and that's a weapon team that accompanies a clan rat unit into battle.
So why is it accompanying the unit, not actually in base-to-base contact?
The reason for that is that because they're a separate weapon team but assigned to the regiment, they have to be within, I think it's 1 or 2 inches of the regiment itself.
Can they be targeted separately to the unit?
No, they can't. So they get the benefit of the regiment's mass.
Who's this character here, this hero?
Queek Headtaker, one of the Skaven generals, and what's particular about him is that he always accepts a challenge, completely different to the rest of the Skaven heroes.
What does that mean exactly in the context of the 5th edition rules then?
It meant that when he goes into battle and he gets into a combat, he couldn't use the standard rules of retreating to the back of the line. He had to engage with the combat with the champion or hero that he was fighting against.
I take it that even though he had to do that combat, he was quite an effective character.
Yes, he was. I mean, in close combat, he had a lot of attacks. They weren't necessarily high strength attacks, but he had a very good weapon skill.
Are these your poison wind globadiers?
Yes, they are. Again, another regiment from Clan Skyer. They would operate on the fringes of a clan rat regiment, lobbing their poisoned wind globes into the enemy or themselves, depending on the scatter dice.
This looks like another Clan Moulder regiment. Is this giant rats I see here?
It certainly is. And they'll be moving ahead of the main army.
And in control, under the control of the pack leader.
Yes.
And no Skaven army is complete without a swarm of rats at its head. Tell me, how old are these little miniatures?
I think they're early 2000s, that rat swarm.
So although you seem to have a rather mighty Skaven army, what we're looking at here is a couple of trays of grey plastic shame, is that right?
It is. It's not just grey plastic though. There is some metal in there as well.
There seems to be almost as many Skaven here in these trays unpainted as there are on the table.
I think that's probably a fair assumption. And the thing is when Games Workshop released the latest version of Age of Sigmar, there was a whole bunch of Skaven in there, so I bought that as well.
What was the last time you used this army?
It was for a game at our local club, and it was a part of a campaign to do with the Legend of the Crystal Skull. And an Empire army were taking the Crystal Skull back to Altdorf, and the Skaven were hot on their heels. And the whole premise of the game, we fought up the length of the table. It was an 8x4 table, and the Skaven had to chase the Empire up the table, and the Empire were fighting a retreating battle.
This is a sizable Skaven army. What prompted you to make a Skaven army like this?
When I set out, I really liked the backstory of the Skaven. I didn't really know how big or it was going to get at the time. I liked the individual characters that led these armies. Queek Headtaker, Grayseer Thanquol for the sort of comedy routine between him and Bone Ripper, but most of all I liked Ikit Claw, the chieftain of Clan Skyer. All had their own nuances and rule sets, but generally I just thought the Skaven army I must have been 17 at the time, 18 when I started this army. Just really liked the idea of rats.
Which edition of Warhammer did the Skaven army book come out?
I think it was 5th edition.
So is this a 5th edition army?
It is, but there are elements of later editions in this army, such as the Warp Lightning Cannon.
And why is that?
Because they weren't around in 5th edition, they were released in 7th or 8th edition.
Oh, I see.
Things like the weapon teams, they weren't around for 5th edition.
When you say weapon teams,
I'm talking about the teams that are attached to a clan rat unit, such as a warp fire thrower or a rattling cannon. That came along, I think, in 6th and subsequent editions.
has the Screaming Bell been around since 5th edition?
It has. That's been a mainstay. And that's the original model that was released with 5th edition. Subsequently, there was another edition where it was a bit more upright, and now there is a plastic edition.
Something I noticed when I was setting the army up earlier was that weighs quite a lot. Perhaps as much as a real screaming bell.
Yeah, that's an old metal model, and this army has as much metal as it does plastic.
Okay, so some of these clan rats, you said they were from the Hero Quest game.
Yes, I think this model here, this was one that got used in Hero Quest or Advanced Hero Quest when it was released back in the 1990s.
So tell me why you would have used a Hero Quest figure rather than an official Warhammer figure.
Well, these were official because Hero Quest was being made by
Games Workshop
at the time. It's just that they were easier to get hold of and they were cheaper to get hold of than the metal models because they're plastic.
So looking at these rule books, neither of these looks like 5th edition. What's going on?
So this one is the 6th edition rule book from the early 2000s, and then this one is the 7th edition rule book, which was released, I think, in 2009.
Okay, and where's the 5th edition book?
It's in storage.
Okay, well...
Or eaten by rats.
We'll have to try and find that another time. What's your most effective unit in the army from a points versus value point of view?
Gutter runners, because they're pretty well equipped.
High weapon skill?
High weapon skill. Pretty good leadership compared to
the rest of
the army. And because they're acting on the fringes, it's just knowing how to use them.
Okay.
And if you can use them effectively, then you can tie up some pretty powerful opponents.
What's your most effective special unit against another special unit?
A special unit against another special unit would have to be probably the Screaming Bell, because in the game the chances of getting a double are fairly low or a treble are fairly low, and the benefit it can give the Skaven army is significant, or a bane against your opposition. And I think because it's being led or pushed into battle by a clan rat regiment or the storm vermin regiment, makes it a pretty tough weapon to go up against.
If there was an army you don't like coming up against, which one is it?
The undead army.
And why is that?
Because they have that ability to just cause terror, so it's forcing you to make checks. They've got ranged magic.
And a low leadership in the Skaven army means that they're fragile.
They're fragile, yeah. If you can get into close combat with some of their necromancers, you may stand a chance. But the likelihood is you're going to go up against the vampire lord who's going to cut most of the heroes down quite quickly. So you have to be cunning.
I guess the one thing when you come up against undead is that you hope that you get the Screaming Bell result, which puts your whole army into a frenzy.
Absolutely.
Otherwise you're gone.
Yes. That's a rarity.
Thanks very much for showing us your Skaven army today. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to subscribe, like, and if you've got any questions, please drop them in the comments below.